You got to make a reservation. It's very difficult to get in.
Well, it's okay. I'll use the service entrance. I'll see you at 9.
Welcome
and bienvenidos
to another episode of Service Entrance People. I am Boomer.
And I'm Pixie. Hola.
Hola, Pixita. For those of you who are new to the show, just jumping into this here podcast, it is for and about the gritty, underpaid, underprivileged service industry workers of the world.
Unite.
We have clearly made some wrong turns in our lives because no matter what, we have ended up right here in these jobs where no matter our talent, our skill, our artistry, we have ended up dealing with the infamous Karens and Florida Man. And Mr. and Mrs. Von Uppity on a daily basis. Day in and day out, we walk through the parking lot of broken dreams and enter through that specially marked door. You know the one.
The service entrance door.
That's fucking right. If you are interested in listening to and sharing in the war stories of the industry, and if you're curious as to what us,
the help,
are really thinking, we are going to educate you with stories of the strange, shocking, hilarious, and this week positive, because laughing is how we make it through.
That's right. This is an industry that we truly love. Although you'll hear horror stories and rants from time to time, not in this episode, mind you. We kid because we care. And this episode is extra positive because we care.
Extra.
Extra. So much extra. There's nothing else we would rather be doing except maybe
doing this here show for you.
Exactamundo.
Also, please do us a favor. If we aren't for you, if we were not your particular bitch's brew, as Miles Davis would say, please
listen anyway.
That's right. We don't care. Hate listen, rage listen, and binge the shit out of us. Heckle us. Because we know that the only thing better than a good horror movie is what?
A terrible horror movie.
So good. One last disclaimer. This show, like our industry, comes with some spicy fucking language.
Ay, 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 muy caliente.
You have been forewarned.
Fuego.
Also, please make sure you are doing a couple of things for us. You're listening to the show, which you're already doing right now. Muchas gracias. Like, subscribe, share, and most importantly, review and rate. 5 stars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars. And please leave us a review on whatever platform you are listening on to.
That's right. Smash that predictive text button like 5 times, just so that way you leave some words. It helps us up the charts.
Don't know why, don't know how, but damn it, it does. So please mash away. 5-star review. And if you would like, if you want to do something a little extra, a little special something, be a part of our program right here. You can leave us a voicemail on our voicemail box at 854-345-7721 with your particular flavor of war story. Tell us how bad your day was, the crazy thing you saw, all of the nonsense that went into your day. We want to hear it. We are not going to answer the phone. It is just a voicemail box. It is your way to help comment and create content on this show, and it's not the only way that they can do it, Pix.
No, absolutely not. You can also send us any sort of story you'd like. Usually I will post things of upcoming topics, but you go right ahead and you contact us at serviceentrancepeople@gmail.com, or you can message us on Facebook at Service Entrance People Podcast, or slide up in our DMs at Service Entrance People Pod at Instagram.
Who's all up in your DM, Pixie?
Hopefully people who love this podcast.
I know that they will be. That being said, it is time. Let us lock the doors, crank up the tunes, and grab our shifties. This week, Pixie, what are you drinking?
I am drinking a mango IPA from Palmetto Brewing Company.
It's like 2 in a row that you've done from the PBC, isn't it?
Yeah, it was accidental, but you know what? I figure, fuck it. I'm going to give it a go.
Okay.
Right, let's see.
Support your local beers, guys and gals and people all over.
Okay, I'm going to go with it definitely tastes like an IPA taste, but aside from that, it's light, and it definitely has some citrus.
Well, there you go. That's it. It hits all the spots there.
Yeah.
There's citrus IPA.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I myself am about to enjoy some Dale's Pale Ale.
Hello, Dale.
Raise hell, praise Dale, as my buddy the Norm would say. Now, this here deliciousness is from Oscar Blues Brewery.
Oh.
We've got brewed and canned by Oscar Blues Brewery, LLC, Longmont, Colorado. Hey now, Colorado.
Hola.
Hola. Brevard, North Carolina, and Austin, Texas. Hey now, Austin, Texas. We have a
Hey
bunch
now,
of listeners
North Carolina.
out in Austin, so thank you all for tuning in and contributing to this beer.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Let me have a sip here, then I got another plug. Hold on a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
That's delightful. It's a perfect pale ale.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it's like 6.5% alcohol too. So
Well, I mean, winning.
I am all about the ABC right now. No, AV, alcohol volume content, AB.
Yeah. HVAC, what?
Always be slamming.
Always be chugging.
There you go.
ABC, always be chugging.
There you go. Now, before we get into all of the befores, speaking of Colorado, a very talented chef who is a friend of mine from high school is going to be on Chopped coming up January 24th.
What?
Yes. Chef Natasha from Denver
Oh.
is going to be on Chopped. So please, by all means, being that you love this program, turn on your television sets and watch my old high school friend kick some chopped ass, I hope.
Hell yeah. Well, congratulations, Chef Natasha.
Yep. She owns and operates the Ginger Pig out in
Oh,
Denver.
great name.
Right?
That's a red-headed pig right there.
Everybody from my high school has done nothing but brilliant things, and then there's me.
Aw.
Now, having said all that,
Let's get into some positive.
episode 16 of Service Entrance People is entitled A Very Pixie Positive Episode. # Pixie Positive.
Sometimes you just need to be positive.
So last week we did, I don't want to say negative, but they were all negative reviews.
Well, they were, but they were funny.
They were very funny.
And
But it was all bad reviews of places you and I have worked.
but the important thing also is that
We weren't working there when those reviews happened to be going on.
Yes, but no. The important thing is that the customers need to be represented too. So I personally wanted you guys to feel that if you have visited establishments, you know, we're not just hating on you. We do care about your experiences too. And some things are unforgivable. And what we read, absolutely unforgivable.
And some things are unforgettable, which is what we're going to read today.
Yay!
Because these are all, as we say in the intro, you know, all of our bitching and moaning comes with a giant grain of salt insofar as we love what we do.
Absolutely.
As sad as that may be, we actually, this is our chosen drug of choice, and
You guys keep us on our toes.
it very much so.
Customers keep us on our toes. People in the industry keep us on our toes. We love all you crazy monkeys out there.
The cat interns keep us on our toes.
Yeah. Crazy cat interns, crazy dog people, all of you.
Crazy trains.
Crazy ginger pigs.
There you go. So this week we are going to be shining our loving spotlight on some of the positive things
Mhm.
that we have been accumulating
Aw.
here at the old showgram.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to kick things off with a listener in Ohio
Oh.
named Liz.
Well, hi, Liz.
Howdy, Liz. Thank you for contributing to the show. And away we go.
Away we go.
Liz writes, I worked at a Tim Hortons when I was 19.
What's
so
that?
first of all, it's a donut shop.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah,
Donuts. I like donuts.
Yeah. And every time I think of Tim Hortons, and it's also because I've been watching a shit ton of hockey lately, but I do think of the hockey coach that yelled at the ref after a bad call, "Shut up, you idiot. Go have another donut." And so I think of Tim Hortons because it's a like Midwestern Canadian
I had
area.
no clue what it was.
Go have a
Absolutely.
donut. So Liz was working, slinging some donuts,
Mhm.
and she was on drive-through as well as covering the front register, which is like a lot.
Yeah.
to
Oh,
do.
yeah.
She said a lady began giving her the order while Liz was responding to her headset.
Awkward.
So she apologized and said, "Sorry, I was talking to the voices in my head." Ha ha ha. The woman laughed and said, "Oh, well, we must be related because I do the same thing."
Nice.
Cutesy little thing, right?
Yeah. Good back and forth.
But wait for it. Liz was going to let it go until the woman asked who her family was. Could be
Okay.
weird, right?
Yeah,
this is
it could be
potentially like a stealing babies situation here. So Liz gave her parents' and grandparents' name.
Okay.
And right after that,
Yeah.
this woman
Uh-huh.
went to her home and murdered her entire family, who she hated anyway. And yay. No, I'm just kidding. So it turns out.
That's not positive.
Well, if she hated her family, it would have been. That's where the joke.
Winning. Yeah. Winning with a windfall?
Right, exactly. However, no, there was no murder. What there was this woman winds up being
Okay.
Liz's long-lost cousin.
What?
They were cousins on their paternal grandfather's side.
That's amazing.
That's so fucking cool, from a throwaway line of like, haha, I'm listening to the things in my head. Like,
we must be related.
right.
Yeah.
It would be like me saying the dumb shit that I say to tables every goddamn time I'm touching a table, one of my dumb boomerisms, and one of them being like, oh my God, so I'm your uncle.
That's actually how I feel when I go to Bristol, Pennsylvania, because I've run into people at places and they've been like, isn't your dad the snow cone guy? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, so I'm your second cousin. And I'm like, I'm gonna believe you because we're Hispanic. So like everybody's my second cousin.
That's weird. My family is so both thin and scattered across that it's very hard for me to run into actual blood relations unless I am like in Oklahoma or Texas or
Howdy.
yeah. Fucking I don't
I feel like I should be giving you a 10-gallon hat.
I have one. My Uncle Irv, when he died, he gave me in his last, whatever, gave me this beautiful fucking 10-gallon hat.
Wow.
It's bitchin'.
I am jealous.
The fuck up thing is I have a teeny little bean for a head.
Yeah.
It's the only hat that actually fits me.
I absolutely have, I have such a weakness for cowboy hats. I do. I love them. I need them. I need all of them.
We'll have to post a picture because this thing is so beautifully majestic that it's just, it's amazing. But again, as we were talking about earlier about Austin, I do have relatives out down there in Austin.
Cheers.
So keep that shit weird, Boomer
and
Clan.
Cheers to Liz for finding her
Hell
long-lost
yeah.
cousin.
And thank you so much for sharing that story with us, Liz, and for tuning in to our little program.
We appreciate you. This one is entitled Positive from Day One.
Yay.
By Heather.
Hi, Heather. Where is does Heather say where she's writing in from?
Heather's from Pennsylvania.
Okay.
I don't have a town. I just have a Pennsylvania.
Well, if it's from Bristol, there's a chance that you're going to be related to her. I'm just saying. I heard.
Actually, God, I don't know if we have any Heathers, but, it might be. Who the hell knows?
By marriage at this point, you never know.
You never know. Anyway, Heather says, I was working at a copy shop and we had a secret shopper. I had been working there for about 4 days, but clearly I had done something with some sort of major impact because they announced my name over the loudspeaker. And my boss said that I got our store a 95 score.
Hell yeah, Heather.
Heck yeah. The customer said I was polite, helpful, and even went above and beyond. I was really surprised because not only was I new at my job, but I had never worked in a place like this before. It felt so good to help a stranger. I was really proud of myself at work.
Way to go. That's awesome, Heather. Now, I will say that she started off by saying I was working ...
Yeah.
Okay, my brain.
Did you say in a restaurant in your brain?
No, I was saying in a lab late one night, and the fucking Monster Mash. The entire time you were talking, all I could hear was Heather and the Monster Mash competing in my brain.
Oh yeah,
for real estate.
Well, it was a graveyard smash.
They did it. They did that fucking mash so well that they made a song about it, and then Heather got a 95.
Well, congratulations to Heather. We appreciate your write-in.
Hell yeah. And good on you for being good at your job to the point that people call you.
That would freak me out that I had a secret shopper and I never knew. It's like getting a test when
but
you don't know you're being tested.
But that's the point of a secret
it's
shopper.
great. It's just, it would freak me out that there are people coming in. Imagine people coming into the restaurant and like secretly, I guess
we've had that. I've had that happen.
Like secret judgers.
Yeah, no. Like
secret
like,
diner.
Absolutely.
That's a thing?
100%.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, it's the same. It's sort of like a lesser rung of when you have a critic coming in.
Oh.
But yeah, we've actually absolutely had secret diners when I worked at one of the resorts. Part of it was just sort of to make sure that we weren't chopping off fingers and feeding them to guests or
That's how low the bar is.
I don't know, like challenging women to fight and having to call the cops and vaguely stealing $10 from them or
Gulp.
something.
Anyway.
But no, that's absolutely and totally a thing with the secret shopper and the secret diners.
I did not know that. I'm glad I know now, though.
Yeah.
You learn something new every day.
And today was the day that you learned that.
Yeah, it was.
Bang. And today is also the day that I learned we have someone named Donna in Tennessee listening to us.
Oh, thank you, Donna.
Appreciates you. Donna says, I was new to the state and didn't know my way around, but found a job almost right away. Very good. Marketable skills.
Winning.
I've never been that way myself. My manager was a lovely lady who saw that I was shy and made me feel welcome, giving me a sense of community from the start. The manager and her partner invited Donna over for beers and dancing, and I always felt like she had my back.
Nice.
Awesome.
I've never had a manager invite me like to places to do things.
Yeah. Well, trying to think. I had
Like a real friend, not like a, we all hang out as work people.
Well, so I had a station GM who every Friday.
That doesn't count.
Well,
It's
just wait.
radio. Yeah, tell your story.
So every Friday, his thing was everybody at the station who wasn't on the air
Mm-hmm.
had to go to the brewery next door for a drink.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't like, I mean, obviously, if you didn't drink, it wasn't like you have to have alcohol.
You
but
have
just,
to have alcohol.
Right. Just everybody, so that we were socializing with each other, not at work, enjoying each other as human, which that then spun into my program director at that station.
Uh-huh.
His apartment wound up kind of being like our little like clubhouse.
That's cool.
And we would go there and we would have parties and hang out, and it was right in the middle of downtown. So when they did like New Year's Eve and the ball drop and everything, we'd hang out at his place and walk and go see the ball and like do all that stuff. So that was like a thing.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting. I'm just saying I don't know. All my managers have been very like distant.
Yeah.
Well,
in restauranting and as a manager myself, my one worry,
yes,
the one thing I never want to be is
in professional
is David Koechner's character from Waiting, the manager that's like,
oh God,
hey guys, where's the party? I'll come too.
Oh no.
Like,
Yeah,
so,
you don't want to be that guy.
So then myself as a manager, I'm always like, yeah, no, you guys go and you have a good time and do whatever it is that you crazy kids do. I'm gonna go leave here and do whatever it is that I do when I'm not here.
Old man things.
Bye. Getting back to Donna.
Sorry, Donna.
She said, through my time at this store, I got to know a coworker who was, much to my regret, both married and straight. Knowing I was very much in love with her despite our age gap, she tried to hook me up with her daughter, who was younger than me, but we just didn't click. In the end, I ended up, though, with a friend for life. This pal I still have a soft spot for, checks in on me from time to time like actual, real, normal people do, with a full-on phone call, with conversation of like an hour or even more, never because she needs something, but just that it's been a while and she wants to check in. I keep an eye on her on Facebook. Happy to see that she is a happy, brand new grandmom.
Aw.
Way to go, Donna's manager in Tennessee. Since that store, though, I've never made a real friend that started off as a work friend. This woman was truly something special.
Aw, that's
So,
very positive.
Little sad that she hasn't made a real, non-work, real friend that started as work friend, but that's really super cool.
I think it's super
she's
cool
got
that
this woman.
a crush ended up being a good friend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it usually is like, oh, well, then I can't have you. And then it just kind of fizzles into now we're awkward around each other.
Then one of you murders the other one and skins them and tries to live in their skin, and that's frowned upon
or
nowadays.
You kill their significant other and try to get with them that way. Who knows?
Yeah, it's a tale as old as time, really.
Classic.
I mean, you know what that is?
What?
That is so Raven.
I wish you never saw
just-
that girl.
Yeah, just to let everybody know, I am now in my mid-40s, and
Oh my God.
last week, I believe, I found out what That's So Raven is and who that girl is. And so now, having heard people say That's So Raven 30 years ago,
Boomer can't leave it alone.
I now get it. And so I'm seeing the entire world. Here's a Pixie positive story. I now see the entire world as a beautiful melange of things that may or may not be so Raven.
Oh my goodness.
Do you see the butterflies
Heaven help
chirping
us
over my
all.
head?
Heaven help us all.
That's so Raven. Pix.
I can give you a personal story that definitely was a positive. Are you ready?
Just between us girls?
Just between us girls.
Okay, shh. Everybody, shh.
This was adorable. So I work at a place that, of course, has kids' menus, and children need entertainment. However, the owner sort of kind of forgets that this thing needs to be in the budget. So crayons have actually had to be purchased out of my own personal pocket.
Yikes.
It's for the hijos. So I purchased these crayons so that way these kids can have some freaking crayons and be entertained while their parents are trying to, eat and drink and do all that jazz. Anyway, because I am paying for them out of my own pocket, though, I tend to get a little, please just take one or two.
You're very put them on a leash and yank them back.
Yes.
About them.
And I have a hard time getting servers to actually bring them back to me.
Well, they're just godless heathens.
I mean, it's strange. Like, I made a crayon bucket that was like, here, just dump them in here and I'll retrieve them. You don't have to go very far. And servers are still like, nah, it's just too difficult.
Can I tell you a quick story?
No.
So this summer, I found where some of the servers were stockpiling your crayons.
So angry.
Like, literally, they
Don't-
had a stash.
Listen, don't step on my sunshine and don't be throwing shade on my positive episode.
Sorry.
Little girl, I catch her with her hands in my crayon bucket.
Well, that doesn't sound very positive.
And she looks at me sheepishly and is like, we just wanted a couple more because I really wanted to color. And I said, listen, I'll let you have them if you promise to bring them back because I have to buy them myself. And she said, oh, I promise, and shook her head in earnest. Now, of course, I'm taking this with a grain of salt. This little girl is not going to bring these crayons
Well,
back.
her name's Ernest, so I wouldn't trust a young lady with that name.
I would. I'd be like, your parents are awesome. Give it, I don't know, till the end of her dinner. And she comes up with fistfuls of crayons.
Okay, nope. I'm being Pixie positive. You keep finishing.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna-
Fistfuls of crayons. Not just her own ones that she took out of my bucket. She took it upon herself to go over and ask other kids if they were done with their crayons to bring them up to me.
So, yeah, that was going to be my thing, was if she had a whole fistfuls of them, that means she was stealing them from you, which would not have been Pixie positive.
No.
But I like the image of young Ernest growing up to be like a collections woman for the mob and being like going around from table to table demanding them crayons.
Yeah, you give me these crayons.
You just gave this delightful girl a whole career path, and I think that's really beautiful.
In the mob?
Great fucking the benefits I heard. The salary and benefits, amazing.
It makes me think of Mr. Pink and the not tipping.
Oh,
You got a tip.
that's one of the fucking most beautiful things ever.
So this
Fuck.
little girl's gonna be like, hey, I pay for the meal, you throw in the tip.
Goddamn right. I love little Ernest Mrs. Pink in this. And actually,
Just demanding tips.
it was Joe. Joe was the
Yeah,
one that
Joe,
paid
that's
for
so-
it.
so
and
it'll be
wanted the
little
whole thing.
Ernest
Yeah,
Joe.
Yeah. Love that. Love it. Love it. Love it. All right, give me more good stuff.
All right. This comes to us and is titled A Guy Positive Waffle House Story. My buddy Steve and I went to our local Waffle House. The place was pretty empty, but the server took a bit to get to us. They kept apologizing for taking so long for the food coming out. Steve kept saying, it's cool, we understand. The main issue that we noticed was they had a bunch of apps going. even when a restaurant is empty, it's not exactly empty.
Truth.
We've talked about that.
100 times.
Togo's, what do you got? Uber Eats, you got Grubhub, you got all of that.
Door dashing.
Oh, God, don't even get me started on the DoorDash. Anyway, she was still apologetic, so I offered to yell at her.
Nice.
I offered to yell at her for things that weren't her fault until she felt better. This finally got a giggle. I can't imagine how rough it is to have a job like this where your second nature is to default to humbled apologies. In the end, she was a really nice person, and we gave her over a 20% tip.
That's good. Good on the tipping end. Also, you are delightful because you have that thing as well where you will apologize for everything.
Well, that's
including
just
your
my
own
nature.
existence. It's delightful.
I just think I like it that he offered to yell at her for like everything in the world that wasn't her fault.
Hey, man, I've done that before. So coming off of that Waffle House,
Yeah.
I have a personal story.
Oh, you
actually,
do?
yes, from an IHOP.
Oh,
So-
well,
so I'm
I
gonna-
hop away.
I'm gonna tell that before I tell this one right here. That's it, right in.
Feel free to riff a little.
My IHOP experience
Mm-hmm.
was kind of cool. So this IHOP I have frequented for a number of years since I've lived in this whole area, right?
Okay.
And it used to be pretty nice. Like I went there with you once, like way back before COVID times.
Yeah, I definitely liked our waitress and everything. It was cool.
Yeah, it was very, very cool.
You don't have a bad time at an IHOP usually. It's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean it's IHOP. You know, I'm a sucker for a diner. I know you're a sucker for a diner. So
I am,
it's-
and I gotta say, IHOP, I think trumps Waffle House on that
Oh,
front.
absolutely.
It's
No
less,
shade on Waffle House.
No, but it's less of a quick eject button to your bowels.
Well, the thing is that IHOP has a higher standard because it's international.
Oh,
That's
the International House
exactly,
of Pancake.
exactly. Quick sub story on that. IHOP. When I was in high school,
Okay.
there was a kid who lived in my dorm, and our freshman year, we saw an IHOP commercial on TV,
Mhm.
and he starts losing his fucking mind,
Okay.
and he's like, "Oh my god, I didn't know those were everywhere now." And we're like, "Charlie, what the fuck are you talking about, man? Like it's
What?
IHOP." And he's from Ipswich, Massachusetts, and so he thought IHOP was the Ipswich House of Pizza,
What?
which is a big thing in Ipswich, Mass. So he thought that had now gone nationwide, and everybody knew
that it was Ipswich Pizza.
House of Pizza. Yes.
Oh my God.
And we had to sit down and explain to him that it was the International House of Pancakes. So to this day, there's a part of me that hears IHOP and does think Ipswich House of Pizza. Ha ha ha. But I digress. So this particular IHOP was a solid fucking dining choice up until COVID.
Okay.
And then in the post-COVID times, COVID hit this place hard. Like, it used to be open 24 hours a day.
Mm.
It was always bustling. Food quality was pretty decent.
Yeah.
Then COVID hit, and it just got fucking bombed out, man. Like, closing at, like, 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
And not enough staff. And, like, sections not seated and still kind of dirty. Like, just... It fell on hard times.
I agree. Think I went one time after, and like it was one of those, it was so bad I kind of wanted to leave a review. If I cared more, I would have left a bad review.
I always feel bad, though, leaving bad reviews about places that
Yeah, but there
like
was like
were good or that I have a good
this was like a
association
dirty
with.
diaper on the floor of the bathroom bad. That's not okay.
Yeah, no, you're right. Correct. I'll
And
allow
the
it.
servers being all like, Soyjin don't give a fuck.
Just not caring.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was pretty bad.
So, you know, the place fell upon hard times, and that made me feel bad.
Yeah.
It also didn't fully deter me from trying to go back.
Well, we always hope they turn around. Isn't that the real positive of it? We're always like, it's going to be better the next time.
America loves a good comeback story.
Yes, of course we do.
So I return multiple times waiting for that comeback story.
Oh, you are really just a believer.
I saw her face.
And Boomer
I'm a
was a
believer.
believer.
Yep. Or I saw her waffle, and I'm a believer.
Well, that's you.
And her pancakes left no doubt in my mind.
Oh, well, you know.
So,
I couldn't leave her if I tried.
no. So I'm running into this particular IHOP one afternoon, and I see a guy walking out of the kitchen, like fucking kind of tosses off his apron, just sort of sits down and like fires up a dart, right?
Okay.
So I'm like, there's a lot of whole not giving a fuck right there. Okay, whatever, play on player. And
Game recognized game.
I start to walk in and I see a manager like coming towards the doors with a sign. I'm like, well,
Did it open up your eyes?
It's. I don't know any other words to that song, so I can't sing it back to you. But we
Good.
did talk last week about trying to eliminate that word from our vernacular because I'm just now going to hear I saw the sign over and over.
Okay,
and
we'll go
over
back to the
and
Monster
over.
Mash. It was a graveyard smash.
So this gentleman was about to put a notice upon the door.
Yes.
And I went in, I was like, oh, hi, sorry. And they're like, yeah, our systems are down. Like the local utilities cable provider crashed out. So the whole fucking area had no interwebs.
No.
Nunca. Okay. So they're like, we can't do anything. Like we physically can't put an order into the system.
Oh, so it can't even go back to the kitchen.
I can't, unless you have cash on you.
Couldn't check you out. Couldn't do any of it.
Right. And it would have to be exact because I don't think their drawers were popping.
Yeah.
Right?
Heard.
So I'm like, oh, fuck, man. I'm like, well, I'm sorry, bro. Like,
Everything runs on electricity these days.
I'm like, I too restaurant, and I have had situations. In fact, previously twice this summer, our POS at the restaurant went down during a holiday weekend.
So you feel for him.
So I do. I totally. And so I say this, and the guy kind of looks at me, and he's like, well, what was it that you wanted? And I'm like,
the world.
And I want it now. I was like, dude, I honestly, I just wanted like a waffle and some scrambled eggs. Like, that's it. Like, it's just a little,
A little something.
Yeah. And so he looks around. He's like, all right, come on in. And so he swipes off a table. The one server that was, bouncing around there, hoping that the system would just not come back up so she could go home, which respect.
Can I get cut now?
Yeah. And the kitchen guy burning a heater out front. They were the only 3 people that were there.
Oh, man.
So I come in, they seat me down. The manager then goes and does lock the doors. So I'm just sitting there.
Well, yeah, he doesn't want more people to come in. That's
Right.
just a pain in the ass.
And I'm like, look, I do have cash.
Yeah.
So that's not an issue. Like, I don't care if you don't ring it up. Like, just show me the menu and show me what the prices are, and I'll figure out tax on my phone, and
we'll do a tip from
like
there.
all good. Like,
and
fucking all good, man. Or you know what? Don't even count it towards your food costs, and fucking I'll throw extra money at you. Like, you're doing me a solid.
Yeah.
So they make my food.
Mm-hmm.
They're so sweet because at that point they were like, are you sure that's all you want? Are you sure you don't want anything else? Are you like tripping over themselves to try to accommodate me? And I'm like, nah, that's cool. Like, I didn't. So I wind up talking to the manager there, finding out his whole story. And this guy, who's younger than I am, like, used to work on gigantic naval vessels.
Oh.
And
he
was
was
like
a squid.
He was like the only engineer that could actually physically do these things on these boats. So there were times, especially during bad weather, where they were like, cool, man. So we've got to get this boat through this storm. That's going to take about 18 hours. Literally, you're the only person that's qualified on the ship. So enjoy that. We're going to go take naps in rotation. And if you need food, we'll bring it to you. Try not to get us all killed.
Wow.
So my guy is going from that to my dumbass being like, can I buy eggs and a waffle from you, sir?
Oh, my God.
Like, the stakes are much, much lower. But he was super fucking cool. And, like, we sat there.
Well, the pressure's off now.
Yeah.
It went from surviving, monsoon weather and getting the naval ship to safety to, can I get this idiot a waffle?
Yeah, man.
It's easy.
It's awesome because we sat there for whatever, half hour and just shot the shit.
There you go.
It was super, super cool. And of course, I fucking just, whatever I had in my pocket, I'm like, here, man. Like,
take all my earth monies.
For you, for the fucking server, for the guy in the kitchen. Like, come on, man. You guys did a cool fucking thing. And while I was sitting there at one point, drinking my little soda that I was drinking,
Mhm.
there was a family that came up to the doors, looked inside, saw me,
Oh,
tried at the door, but it was
no.
locked.
You
Saw the
go
sign,
away.
saw the little notation on the door.
Yeah.
The manager actually popped his head out and was like, "Yeah, I'm sorry, we're closed. Our systems are down. We can't take anybody." And there's my dumbass again in full view, just like
eating.
This is very good. Now, to be fair,
To be fair.
food quality wasn't up to pre-COVID levels, but at that point, it's like the free meal. Like, it doesn't matter if
Yeah.
it's good or not. It's a free meal, so it's the best meal you're gonna have. But it was very, very good, and it was super fucking cool of them to do that for me.
Can I tell you something?
Jeez.
For all the Monster Mash, I saw the sign.
Did it open up your eyes?
You have me stuck on everybody wants to rule the world.
There is rarely a situation in your life, Pixie, that song should not be in your head, because Tears for Fears is one of the most underrated fucking bands, period. I will go to Matt for them. If you don't have a Tears for Fears song in your head right now, I need you to go, press pause on this, listen to some, and then come back, please. I need you in that headspace, and you should be supporting Tears for Fears.
And supporting this podcast.
And supporting this podcast.
Well, I have a story for you.
Do tell.
This was a really cool guy. Well, you know me. I like to kick it old school sometimes.
I don't know me. Who's know me?
I said you know me.
I do. You're Pixie. I can see
am.
you from where I'm sitting.
Hola.
Hola, Pixie.
So I like to kick it old school. And, every now and then I'm up for a bit of a challenge. And I met a guy, and this happens actually more often than I would like to face, where people like to say, hey, I really want this tattoo, but I can't afford it.
Oh, please don't tell me you're like, but that's okay. Here's my Earth monies. You go get your tattoo.
No. Oh, God. No.
Oh, thank goodness.
No. Absolutely not. However, as a tattoo artist, you get these, it's almost like a barfly, but in a tattoo sense. So I don't know, a tattoo bunny, whatever you want to call them, like a ski slope bunny.
Tattoo twat?
Yeah, it's a tattoo twat. Yeah, these dudes hang around, and
Nailed it.
and in girls too. I mean, guys, girls, you're all the same.
Girls can be twats too, Pixie.
You're all the same gender to me out there. You're all just people wanting tats. You want the ink. Well, this dude was like, I really want a tattoo, and I can't afford it. I was feeling a little saucy. So I'm like, all right, what can you trade me?
This could go down a very dark path, but it's a Pixie positive episode, so I know it's not going to. Trying not to think horrible thoughts.
Exactly. I mean, it's not, it's not going to go in an X-rated level or anything like that. And he wasn't going to offer me, like, I don't know, a blazer with T-tops, which I would have been stoked to have. But anywhoozles, this ended up where we kind of dickered back and forth on possessions that he had.
So you did dicker him.
Shut up. We did the whole, dance of, what do you got that I like? These are some things that I like. And it stumbled across the whole photography.
You were a photographer, Pixie.
I am still at times a photographer.
Fair point. You were a paid working professional photographer for a while.
Yes, I was. And occasionally my photos still get paid for. So
Sweet.
it was pretty righteous. Turns out Brohan had an actual antique camera collection.
Swizzle.
Now, not wanting to jump the gun because I don't believe people off what they tell me, I told the dude, tell me what you want, tell me how many cameras you have, and either send me a photo or, do me a solid and bring them in.
That's great irony. Send me a photo of your camera.
Exactly.
Back in the olden days, that was impossible. Just throwing that out there. Completely impossible back in the old days.
Well, he ends up coming to the tattoo parlor with a full box of a wide variety of old school cameras.
I think I speak for everyone when I need to ask you this question.
Yeah.
Pixie, What's in the box? How big was the box, though?
The box was about that. So what are we talking about? Like 3 feet? 3 feet by 2 feet?
Yeah, that's a solid 3-foot arm's length that nobody else but me can see.
It was definitely an awkward to carry Pixie size box.
Okay.
It was slightly heavy.
Okay.
It contained everything from the old school brownie cameras with like the 2 slots where you have to just keep it still
Mm-hmm.
to Polaroids, baby.
Hell yeah,
Polaroids.
Polaroids. Made this country great along with Levi 501 jeans.
It even had the Polaroid where it slid out and had like the fancy accordion style.
I had one of those when I was younger. There was one in my house.
Yeah, and he even brought like film with them and all kinds of weird shit. So I ended up with that, plus what you see right over in the corner there, which would be an antique old projector.
Dope. I mean, I know that it's here in the studios.
But
I
they
didn't
can't
know
see
the
it out
story.
there.
Yeah, but I didn't know the
Yeah.
story behind it. It's actually, if
It's
you remember
really
back,
rad.
if you remember back to like 5th grade health class, this camera
This
is
you have to be in your 40s.
this camera is what your grandparents would have used in 5th grade health class back then. Okay? Like, it's super, super rad. Double reel and everything. Never knew that's... You just plopped it in the studio one day and fucking offered no context to it, so...
Yes, and it's mine due to this gentleman wanting a tattoo and not having any means to pay for it other than...
What tattoo is it?
If memory serves, it was, I want to say a spotted finch or an owl. It was definitely avian.
So, just dipping my toes here in the irony ocean, you did this tattoo
Yes.
for a stack of cameras,
Yes.
and your memory served because you don't have a picture of this tattoo to remember what it was?
Wait a minute now.
Question
Wait a
mark?
minute now. You shut your whore mouth, because where we're at in our age, we went from the days of no cell phones where you didn't have the whole let's just take a photo of it and send it to somebody. So back then, my tattoo portfolio consisted of photographs done with one of those little crank cameras.
I'm aware. It's the irony that you didn't have a camera to take a picture of the tattoo that you got paid in cameras for.
Yes. Yes. I see the irony. However, with the transition of media, I definitely lost my tattoo portfolio for the most part. I think I have like 3 or 4 that I've done that are digital copy. But other than that, yes, I am that level old. Congratulations. You've proven how old I am.
What's awesome is you're 8 years younger than I am, so all of this, I'm like, oh, boo-hoo, oh, I'm so old, look at me. It was 2007, ooh.
It was not 2007. I just wasn't wealthy. I was living out of an old Volvo that was lime green with pink shag interior. What were you doing with your life?
In 2007, I was a successful radio DJ. Do we want to go down this road or what? This is just
Where are
fucking
we
dumb.
now? Where are we now, boomer?
None of this is going on the air. I just want you to know. None of this is fucking making it out there. Now,
Fade to boomer.
fade to me as we draw up the last Pixie Positive story of the episode, which, ironically, the Pixie Positive episode is going to be one of our shorter episodes, which I feel like we need to work on ourselves a little bit more.
Why? It's a positive that it's shorter, isn't it?
Well, I'm just saying there's not more... like, our shit episode was super long because we had so many shit stories.
We're a juvenile, though. Who doesn't want to talk about poop all day?
I mean, I know my mother would.
It's dick and fart jokes all day long, baby.
I'm just saying.
But I mean, sometimes you got to get a little positive. You need a little sunshine
But
over that shit
this
rainbow.
doesn't represent the amount of positive that goes on. It's just we don't have it at our disposal right now to talk about. It's the whole when you see bad reviews. For every one good review, there's like 5 bad reviews because it's easier to write a bad review than a good review doesn't mean that it's not a great place.
It makes for fun writing. It makes for fun reading, I think is where you're landing.
I'm just saying there's like 5 to 1 of the negative out there.
Because it's fun to read and it's fun to write.
So
end this on a positive. Give me
the whole goddamn episode's been positive, Pixie. Have you been paying attention?
Give me the glitter.
So our friend Keisha from Virginia is going to land the plane for us.
Okay. Thank you, Keisha.
Keisha writes us, at age 22, my manager is the same age as me, but she went to college, which is probably why I am just a cashier, but whatever. Wouldn't want to be in charge of anything, even if you wanted me to. Still.
Fair. Like her style.
Yeah, I wish. Still, she's nice and I like my job, even though I'm shy. This boy asked for my number, which was cool. Hey now, go get you some.
You rock.
He seemed cute, so I wrote my number on his receipt and then moved on to the next customer. Play on, player.
Hell yeah.
Okay, I see you. Not paying attention to my manager, who seems pretty peppy and handles herself like a boss. Once my register got cleared out, she asks, how'd you just do that?
Do what?
What, actually, do what? Was the next word. Stop reading my paper. The manager was all, you just gave that guy your number. Were you nervous?
He could have been a
22 years old?
serial killer. I mean, there's that.
There is. It's at 22, this seems like a little, but okay. Were you nervous? I'm like, nah, he'll either text or he won't. Who cares? I like the devil may care attitude on that.
Yeah.
I really do.
But also, that's so true. I mean, either he will or he won't. Why are you going to agonize over somebody you don't know?
He's either dead or he's not, or the cops got him, or they don't. If we're just going to keep doing Reservoir Dogs fucking shit all day. So either he's dead.
Either he is the rat or he isn't the rat.
Just fucking know. So either he'll text or he won't. Who cares? She said, I was awesome and confident. I rolled my eyes and had to say, not even, which, again, 22, but she's writing this like Sharon Clueless. I am shy and stuff, but he's just a guy who I don't know. He can't make me feel bad. It was just cool. Someone like her, my boss, was impressed by me.
Okay.
That's it. I would have loved some follow-up on that,
She's
Keisha.
20 What do you want from her?
Well, I need to know if the guy called, if he texted, if he didn't. There's no closure to that story.
I actually think it's more awesome that she didn't care about that and she cared that the manager was like, you're a badass.
No, absolutely. I'm just saying, for myself,
Oh, you want to know how it lands?
I want to know what happens.
Did they get
'Cause
married? Did they have babies?
I don't have that type of confidence that Keisha has. I can't just give a boy my number and not care. I need to know.
You care if you give a boy your number?
I'm just saying.
Are you one of those ladies that just paces all night?
Listen, I can't share anything with you because a lady never tells.
It's true. You don't kiss and tell.
Never kiss and tell.
Well, I think that's awesome.
Good on you, Keisha. And for whatever you would prefer, whether he did or he didn't or he does or he doesn't, I hope that works out for you because
I mean, get you some.
you've got the power, and I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And with that, we say thank you for tuning in to episode 16 of Service Entrance People. It was a very Pixie positive episode.
Yeah, gracias for all the positivity.
I feel better about humanity as a whole.
Do you?
And my place in it. And I am still, however, wrapped up in whether or not Keisha gets the call back. But
It's not a call. Kids don't do that these days.
text back.
There you go.
But I will say that I am enriched by knowing that she just fucking threw her balls out there.
Yeah.
And thank you to everybody who sent us in stories this week. We appreciated this show.
Yes.
It's your show as much as it is our show. We always say that.
We can't
So
function without you guys. Come on. You guys are way more interesting than we are.
You guys are awesome. And one of the ways that you can be even more awesome is if you're just listening and you have yet to contribute a story, you can go to serviceentrancepeople@gmail.com and share with us some little portion of your life and how your experience, Pixie positive or otherwise, is.
Absolutely. Or you can message us on Facebook at Service Entrance People Podcast, or you can send us a DM on Instagram at, the little at symbol there, Service Entrance People Pod.
Pixie, I need to know who is up in your DM.
I am hoping it's people who love this podcast.
Me too.
Now tell me about our voicemail, Mr. Boomer.
Well, if you're not into the whole written word thing, you can call us and leave us a voicemail, 854-345-7721. Tell us about your day. Tell us whatever crazy, fun shit that you saw that you think is entertaining or just you need to get out. I promise you, no actual human will interact with you, so it's not a pressureful situation. We just may, put it on the podcast for an international audience to listen to. No big deal.
That's cool. Everybody wants to be famous. You know it. And if you want to be extra special, like our executive producers,
Sirs!
Chris Moore and Charles Cumberland.
Hey, Chuck.
What up, Chuck? You too can be a producer. Go to patreon.com/serviceentrancepeople. And,
Help
we
support
have,
the show.
Yeah, different levels there. Be a Karen, be a Florida man, be a Von Uppity, and get free shit.
Free shit and bonus content as well.
Woot.
Patreon.com/serviceentrancepeople. It is your call to service.
Yeah.
And we thank you for your service.
No, thank you. Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
Don't forget to listen, like, share, subscribe, rate, review. Don't forget to rate and review above all 5 stars. And mash that predictive text button 5 times. Leave words. Say, I want to speak to your manager. Say, Pixie positive ponies punctuation.
Preparedness, perpetuality, persnickety, persimmon.
There you go.
Nailed
all
it.
the P's.
Foods that start with the letter Q. Actually, I would love somebody just to write that. Just to go the white men can't jump and just say foods that start with the letter Q.
Okay.
Rosie Perez voice. And as I did mention earlier in the opening segment, January 24th episode of Chopped. You should tune in. Chef Natasha is going to be on that particular episode. I had the privilege of going to high school with her. And so, yeah, go support an old buddy of mine.
Yeah, we're going to ride her coattails as she represents the ginger pig. Go, Chef Natasha.
Woot.
We root for you.
We root for you. Thank you very much for tuning in. And, of course, next week, another episode of Service Entrance People. Wednesdays, midnight, East Coast time. Make sure you are dialed up to whatever service you're dialed up to and give us a listen. And we will talk to you next week from the worldwide studios of Service Entrance People. I am Boomer.
Are you sure about that?
Not even a little bit.
I'm Pixie. Adios.